Hi, this is an unboxing and review of the Kimmos Mandoline slicers with 7 different interchangeable blades. This slicer features stainless steel quality blade and have versatile hand holding blades, and they produce different thickness for different fruit and vegetable. These are the different slicers that come with it. And on the side here you can kind of see a little bit more detail of the different 7 slicers. You have a 1/4 grater blade which is used to grate cheese and etc. You have a cucumber blade. You have another fine grater blade. And then you have a potato blade here, and then you have 3 different julienne blade, 10mm, 7mm and 4mm. Let's go ahead and unbox the slicer and check it out in more detail.
Come open like this.
Inside you have a thank you card from Yes My Gadget. That is basically the company that sells this product. You have a box here that comes with a different blade. You have one part of the slicer so that you can use to put your hand on and move it around. And then you have the actual slicer itself. Here's the slicer itself. To set it up, you just pull the leg out and stand like this. And on this end, you have the ability to set it at this angle. As you can see, and it's staying in place now, it locked in place. Everything here is stainless steel and it's very well built. You have the Kimmos logo up top here, and then you have these 2 little plastic screw here which let you move this blade in various different angles. Here's the handle where you can put whatever you want inside here. So you will put something in here, put it on your sliding rail like that, so it will stay in place. Put your foot in there and you will push it down, and then you can just basically you can push your foot down and you can slice it over the slicer here. These are the 7 blades that come with the product. You have the coarse fine gray, which is used for cheese or whatever big vegetable you want to have this little stringy. This is the smaller one for cucumber. It's called cucumber blade. And then you have this fine sliding blade here, used to slice little slice. Then you have this other one which is a potato blade, give you those nice little wavy potato. And then you have these 3 julienne blade, and this is a 10mm, a 7mm, and basically the 4mm. You can see from the blade here, they're very sharp. This is the stainless steel blade, and the rest of the part is plastic. To install it, you just hold this end here, use the round end with a handheld place, and you have a little arrow here. And if you're looking at the slicer from the front, you install it from the right side over, so it just goes in only one way. You put it in here, it goes all the way over, and it locks in place, and now you have your blades in there. I want to point out, besides this thank you card, there's no instruction that come with the slicer itself. On the box itself, as you can see, it's just some information, but there's really no instruction on how to use it.
This is one of the julienne slicer. To install this julienne slicer, you will need to insert it from the left side. This is the potato slicer. I use an apple instead to cut it, and you can kind of see the wavy pattern that you're looking for in your potatoes. Here's the thickness I choose to slice the apple. You can also adjust that thickness. Here I'm using one of the grater blade. This one is typically used to grate cucumber, so you can get those nice thin slices. Using a small grater like this, stuff does get stuck in it, but it's very easy to clean by just rinsing it out with water. Using a grater, I cut a bunch of thin slices of carrots. This is good for making a salad. Next up, I'm slicing some beet. The beets are really nice, and you can set them in very thin slice to very thick slice. Here's the paper thin slice for that beet. I also adjust the plate so that it's a little bit thicker, as you can see here, and here are some thicker one. For cabbage, I decided to use the fine blade. Just give it a very nice, stringy and various pattern because cabbage are pretty easy to cut. Finally, I also used the julienne blade. To use the julienne blade, you must have the normal slicing blade in place also. In this way, the julienne blade will give you those nice fine pattern, while the regular slicing blade will cut it in proper length. This is especially great for French fry. Here's that setup for the julienne and the fine blade. The fine blade is set horizontally to cut, while the julienne blade provides those slicing action vertically. Together, they provide those nice French fry cut as you saw before.
Overall, the Kimmos Mandoline slicers work quite well. You have a variety of blade selection which can be used to cut various different items. I really like the stainless steel design after you use this, and it gets a little bit dirty and you have all your vegetable and stuff on here. It's really easy to just take this to the sink and rinse it all off. And you can wash it with a mouth soap and a little bit of warm water, and that's good. There's not saying anywhere on the box that it is machine washable, but I wouldn't put this in the machine. It looks a little bit fragile. It has a lot of little small parts. Although it's all stainless steel, I wouldn't put it in the machine. I also really like the box that give you all the blade. You can put all the blade in here. Very easy to transport and keep it safe so you're not cutting yourself on accident. It's really nice. The arm, these non-slip arm here, work quite well and they really stay in place. They do not move at all, as you can see. However, I will wish that this end does elevate up a little bit, because sometimes you're cutting stuff and you put a blade underneath here and stuff are slicing over here and I can't get the blade underneath here. So I wish this has a little bit better angle than the current angle, or at least adjustable. That would be great. There are two things that I do not like about this Mandoline slicer. There are two things that I do not like about the Kimmos Mandoline slicer. Number one, it does not come with any menus at all, which can be frustrating. I am new to these kind of things. I only know how to use one blade, and especially with the drilling blade, I didn't know that you had to put a drilling blade here and you also had to put a slicing blade here in order to get the cut. And that took me a while to figure it out, and I had to look online. But you know, those kind of things, it's really nice to have a little menu to explain to you. The other thing that I didn't really like, and maybe that's a personal preference and maybe how you're using it, is this little slicing here. It seems like you just fall down here and you know, it's hard to adjust blade. So basically you have to put all your blade and everything in there. You have to take this off and you have to put it on here. And then at the same time you have to put your vegetable in here or whatever you want to cut, and put this in here at the same time. And it, you know, and it can get a little bit clunky, and it's hard to deal with. So if you're, you know, if something gets stuck here or you want to clean, you basically have to take this off. So I think this could be implemented a little bit better, maybe with a magnet or something that will basically catch on this glide here, instead of with this thing where you have to get into these little two sliding through here. You see, you always have to try it 1 or 2 times before you get it in. But I think when you do it a few times, you get used to it. This slicer works pretty well, so you only have to learn how to use this slicer properly. A lot of people never use a Mandoline slicer before, so you might run into some difficulties, especially without the menu explaining to you some of the basics of the Mandoline slicer. But you can look at that stuff online. I hope this review has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment below. And as always, stay tuned for future review. Thank you.